Greetings, I'm Rev Simone Lord, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about faith, the power of faith. Have you ever wondered why some people just seem to get all the breaks? It's even as though they have the favor of the Lord upon their lives. Well, today I want to show you how you can have that same favor, that same luckiness that you've always admired in others. It's the same favor that can be yours. So I've spoken at an event recently, and I wanted to bring you some highlights of it. Before I go to the clip though, I just want to let you know that favor and faith, favor comes from God. God is able to give you big favor in your life if you please Him. So in the Bible it says, it is impossible to please the Lord without faith. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. And as you know, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And that's Hebrews 11:1. And it sounds a bit lofty, the whole principle. Like sometimes people wonder, what does that really mean? Faith is the evidence of things hoped for, the substance of things not seen. It sounds a little bit ambiguous. Faith is like a parachute. In other words, when you jump, the parachute opens. If you don't jump, the parachute will not open. Faith is belief in God that the goals that you have, the dreams that you have, whatever you see in the future or immediately happening in your present, faith is having the confidence to sort of manifest it, to make it happen. And a lot of people have a lot of faith. Some people have no faith. Some people have very little faith. But when you see people doing great things, and sometimes a lot of them, that they're not very rich people, but yet they're doing all these great things. It's faith. It's favor from the Lord. Their faith pleased the Lord because they used it. They exercised it. They took action. You see, faith is not just a noun to me. Faith is also an action verb. You see, in order to utilize faith, you have to do something. You have to jump because, as you know, faith without works is dead. Without action, it's dead. So you can believe all you like that God would send, the healing that you need in your body or in your finances, in your marriage and relationships. You can believe and sit and wait and believe, or you can exercise your faith and do something about it and, sort of go out there and make things happen. So I like people who really exercise their faith. And you might not have all the money in the world, but by faith, you can think of a brand new idea, something new and non-obvious. And by faith, you could start exercising this new idea, building it up, maybe even patent it. As you've heard me speak a lot about inventing something new. By faith, you can do this. So if you would like to develop your faith, another great way to do that is to read the book of Hebrews. The book of Hebrews really will help you to develop your faith. It has so many great examples of the superheroes of the Bible, Abraham, Isaac, all exercising their faith. So check out the book of Hebrews and exercise your faith. Jehovah Jireh is in the book of Genesis. Now, Jehovah Jireh is a Hebrew Old Testament name for, it means the Lord will provide. In the clip that you're going to see next, you are going to hear me refer to Jehovah Jireh. And Jehovah Jireh is the Lord who will provide. Jireh is the name of the place in the mountains of Mount Moriah that Abraham was about to sacrifice Isaac. He bound him up, put the ropes on and everything, lay him down, because he heard the Lord tell him, you love me so much, I want to see you sacrifice your only son for me as a burnt offering. And because Abraham had so much faith in God, he really believed that God will make a way to bring Isaac back from the dead, maybe, or he knew that God would make a way, in other words. And so he went, he heard the voice of the Lord speak to him, and he obeyed. Now look where Abraham is. Abraham is the father of many nations. The seed of Abraham is blessed. You know, David, the line, the lineage of Abraham. So if you want the kind of blessing and favor that Abraham had, and that people like Moses had, and late people too, not just, you know, earlier men and women, but people like our president, you know, big faith to do great things, things that have never been done before. All these people had faith. They believed in themselves, in the power of a higher being, but most of all, they believed in themselves that they can do this. I say to you that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Step one, the power of faith. Take Jehovah Jireh as your angel investor. He is my backer. You should do the same. Step two, you're going to need passion, expertise, knowledge, integrity, and courage. Why are you going to need these things? Because when you go to the other backers, the other investors, the other sponsors, they're going to want to see that you have something passionate and articulate to tell them about what it is that you want them to invest in. Because this is the thing, you're going to them with your idea. So let's see, who are you going to go to? You're going to go to some people that have some money. Okay, you're not going to go to the people who, you know, you're looking for people like who have like businesses, and you know that they for sure have the money that can help you. Why expertise? Now, if you're a nurse and you go looking for a sponsor, and you want them to sponsor your business, and your business is in journalism, they might not necessarily want to sponsor you because you have no expertise in journalism. Maybe that's somebody else's dream that you're now trying to convince this sponsor that they should help you. Yeah, they might not buy it because you have no expertise in that area. What is your passion? What is your passion? What is your purpose? Your passion determines how much money you're going to get and how big that check is going to be. If you're passionate about something, that means that you're selling it good, and people will listen to you. They will help you. They want to support you. They want to sponsor you. But you have to stick to the areas that you have expertise in. Knowledge. You need knowledge, and you got to do market research, research and development. You need all of these things. Knowledge. Integrity. Okay, they might not know that, they might not know if you're going to really do what you say you're going to do with the money. So you need to have some integrity. And, how do you get integrity? You all know how, right? By trust. There's a trust factor. Somebody got to know you that, you're a person that has some integrity. That you want. And if you keep on saying one thing and then doing the other, then they won't trust you. If you say double talking, you're saying this thing now and another day you're saying something else, people won't trust you. So you have to stick to your story, stick to your mission, stick to your passion. If you have one multi-level business and then you come to them with 5 others, every week you change it, they're not going to trust you because, another multi-level marketing business? I don't think so. I cannot be your sponsor. So you got to stick. Why you need the courage? You need the courage so that you can jump. Why you need to jump? You need to jump so that you jump out. If you don't jump out there, God won't catch you. See, He's waiting for you to jump. He's waiting for you to leap with faith. And you're holding back, waiting for Him to send the money through the sky. It don't come until you jump out there. Quick story. Once I put on a revival, 3 nights revival. I didn't know anything about putting on a revival. For 3 nights. My friend said, how about 1 night? Why don't you just do 1 night? No, the vision was so clear. It must be 3 nights. The Lord said 3 nights, 3 nights in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So the 3 nights cost $1,500.
I don't have any money, no $1,500. But I print up the flyers, I get it done, put out the word, we having a revival. I call the catering hall, we having a revival, save the date for me. So she knows me, and I said, okay, no problem. So now, how we get the money? Because I stepped out in faith, God already had plans to send the money. You see, you don't wait for the money to do nothing, you step out in faith, you see. So the money came, I have some volunteers, that's why I love volunteers so much. I love volunteers. Volunteers came, 16-year-old volunteers, about hundreds of them. They came from Brooklyn Tech High School, mostly Asian. And they came and they raised a penny drive for me to have this revival, and they brought the money cash. A lot of singles, they said, here you go, Reverend Simone, the exact amount of money to start the revival. That's Jehovah Jireh providing right there. Praise the Lord. The third step that you're going to need is you're going to have to find the common ground, the what's in it for me. Your sponsors are going to want to know what's in it for me. It's also well that you have a vision and that you want to start this business, but why should I give you my money? Really, what's in it for me? So I never go to sponsors without knowing what's in it for him or her. I know what's in it for me. When I go to the Lord, I know what's in it for the Lord. It's for the glory. It's for the kingdom. And I know he's going to help me because whatever I'm doing is aligned. It's in line with the glory, kingdom work. So I know that he's going to help me. But these other backers, these other sponsors, what's in it for me? And if you go to them and you're talking constantly about your idea, it's good to be passionate and yes, articulate and yes, you're selling your vision, but you have to really listen because the best salespeople are the best listeners. I didn't know that, but the best salespeople, they're the best listeners. So if you go to the sponsor, you have to let them talk. You have to do some research. You have to know what the common ground is. Why should you help me? So some of my sponsors, there's a bank that sponsors me a lot. What's in it for them? Community credit. You look good, you're sponsoring an event with youth, and then what I do is I package it now. How about if you come, Mr. Sponsor, how about if you come and set up a table and open bank accounts for everyone on the spot? They can't say no. So you have to answer that question, and you have to do it really well so that they will be closed on what's in it for me. Regular advertisers, what's in it for them? You need marketing, don't you? You need advertising. I'm going to put your name on the journal. I'm going to make a big, pretty ad for you in the event journal. There you go. They got something, you got your money, you got your check, everybody is happy. 4, you need presentation. Like I said, when I go to the Lord, I have a presentation kit. I kid you not. That same kit, I use it for other sponsors. The Lord is my biggest sponsor because he don't turn me down. The other sponsors, they're good too, but sometimes you have to like follow up, you gotta call them and stuff, a lot, However, the presentation kit, you're gonna need a market research piece. You're gonna need a media kit. Okay, you make one at home on your computer. You're gonna need a marketing strategy as part of it as well. And what's going on in the market, like the marketing research part would handle that. As to, what's the climate like, what are the issues and the solutions that you're going to solve. Now, if you make it electronic, it will be very good because then you can email it to your sponsors. Email it to all the sponsors you can find. Now, where you're going to get the sponsors? You're going to get up and you're going to walk around to the businesses and you're going to knock on some doors because it says in Matthew 7:7, ask and it shall be given. The sponsors don't know that you exist. You have to go out there and ask them to sponsor your event. If you don't ask them, they won't sponsor their event. I just had a big event at Queens College with no money. Queens College was very expensive. The most expensive, Terrace on the Park was more expensive than Queens College. And I had no money for either. I'm doing big things. Terrace on the Park. Terrace on the Park. Everybody's like, what? She got money? She got money. I have no money for that. But I go to the Lord. So I went to Terrace on the Park with no money. And, well, someone took me there. A volunteer came and she took me to Terrace on the Park because I told her that I wanted to have a big event. And she took me to Terrace on the Park. She said, how about this place? So I said, fine, it looks wonderful. Yeah, let's do it. Sure. And inside, I'm like, is she for real? Yeah, how am I going to get money to afford Terrace on the Park? So she took me to the marketing person there, and I met him. And lo and behold, he was an orphan. And he had a heart for young people. He said, wow, look at what you're doing for young people in the community. I want to help you do this. God gave me favor with the man. I didn't pay the poor man until the day of the event. And that day of the event, there was a huge snowstorm. And all the money was out. We didn't sell the tickets beforehand. The money was out to be collected at the door in the snowstorm. So what do you think happened? Honey, so you know, didn't I tell you I know Jehovah Jireh? Everybody showed up. And guess what? We even made a profit. We made a profit. It was just so unbelievable. So I went so after I saw that, Terrace on the Park was the second largest check that I have ever written, aside from buying a home, which was another story because I didn't have the money for that either. But this was the second largest check, Terrace on the Park. So after that, I was, wait a minute, there's a pattern here. So I started thinking, wait a minute, you have a business partner. You have a backer. His name is the Lord. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So I try to go to the Lord with everything. But, just real quickly though, if the bank's turning you down for the house, after you've done everything, you've prepared and everything, you've got your credit together, you've counted the pennies and they mount up and they're still not enough, but hey, you have some for the closing. Don't believe the no's. Keep on saying yes. That's what I told the bank manager. I said to him, he said no. He said there's no way. I said yes. My Lord already said yes. And I got the house. They kind of gave me the keys. They said, you know what, because it was like a horrible closing because I didn't have the money to close. So they they used a lot of white out in the closing, trying to make the figures match, and they wouldn't match, and it was long because the figures won't match. I just didn't have the money. So eventually they took a post-dated check from me. They said, okay, Miss Lord, we'll take a post-dated check, and we hope, here, just take the keys, Miss Lord. Just take it, please. We have to leave. It was Good Friday. Praise the Lord. Good Friday. Hallelujah. Okay, so moving on quickly. Following up. You have to follow up with the sponsors. You have to, in sales, it's 7 touches that make a sale. Sometimes you get it on the first touch. Like you might just walk into a place and get a $10,000 check, sell something, get a $10,000 check, which I have done. However, most sales, 7 touches. Email, call them up, follow up. Hi, how are you today? Text them, face to face, call their secretary. Hello, how are you? This is so-and-so again. And after that, what I'd like you to do is get them a gift, a box of tea, whatever you have, get them something, okay? The fortune is in the follow-up. 6, finding the funding. I invite you to check out, I have a By Faith credit card. As you probably realize, I do have a By Faith credit card. But I want to give you one too, and it's in my book. Get Out of the Cage is the name of the book. So I want you to check out that. Like, what is a By Faith credit card? Other than that type of funding, there's some other funding. There's one other person that I'd like you to I would like to reintroduce you to my uncle. His name is Uncle Sam. Now, Uncle Sam is the largest procurer of services branded products in the world. You absolutely need to know Uncle Sam and call him. SBA.gov. They have contracts. $1 million contracts. Can you say $1 million contracts, please? $1 million contracts. For me. Say for me. For me. Yeah, there's $1 million contract there at the SBA.gov for you, for your business. It's called Woman-Owned Small Business. They set aside money for you. Go get it. And don't stop until you get it. Don't stop until you have that million and you go into the bank. You need to get the $1 million contract. Everybody else is getting it. All the other minorities are getting it. And black women, you have to go get the $1 million contract. I just have a couple more points and then I'm going to close. Get certified. Uncle Sam, okay? 8, get out of your cage. Think outside the box. Think outside of your comfort zone. It's not working for you anymore. You have to get out of the comfort zone, period. 9, every day you should be thinking of $1 million idea so that you can invent something. There are all of these women in the world, you guys can invent something. I've invented, you might think that, Steve Jobs invented all the good stuff, the iPad, but I invented something called the I Can Do All Things Through Christ. And it's a book and a candle. It's a soy massage candle. And you massage the word, the husbands love it, the husband absolutely loves it. But you can invent something. There's something that you need to invent. Now every day you're going to be thinking anyway, every day, right? Think about $1 million idea that you can invent something. Patent it. It's very easy to patent things. Go to, patent.gov. Google patent. And the last step is you absolutely have to take more responsibility. You got to start some businesses. You got to get more, how you get more power and influence. Everybody wants the power and the influence. You have to take responsibility. People who take responsibility, to be the CEO and to take responsibility to be this and to be that, what do? They take responsibility. So don't wait for someone to take responsibility for you. You take the responsibility. You get that power. You get that influence. I just want to leave you, that's the 10 steps. I want to leave you with this thought. If you are not walking, if you have no voice, if you feel like nobody hears you, if you feel like, you don't exist really, nobody knows you, nobody hears you, it's because you're not walking in your purpose. Walk in your purpose. Find your purpose and walk in your purpose, and you will find your voice.
So I hope you enjoyed the clip, and if you have any questions, we would love to hear your comments, your concerns, questions. You can call 917-720-2485. We prefer email, and my email is royalpeoplegroup@gmail.com. So some of the things that I just wanted to mention is that without faith, as you know, I said it before, but without faith, it really is impossible to please God. And if you want the blessings of the Lord upon your life and upon your family's life, then you ought to be doing some things that would please Him. You ought to be stepping out in faith. I say jump, I mean leap. It's the same thing. You have to take action and move towards the desires of your heart. You have to move in your purpose. So if you're still looking to find your purpose, that's a good thing. And I hope that you find your purpose so that you can walk in your purpose. Without walking in your purpose, it's like living without a voice. It's kind of like, spinning top in mud, they say. There are 2 days that are the best days of a person's life, a man or woman. That is the day he or she was born and the day he or she finds their purpose. So I hope that you have found your purpose in life. And if you have not found your purpose, seek enlightenment. Seek the Lord. Because, as you draw closer to the Lord, he will draw closer to you. It says in the Bible, draw nigh unto me and I will draw nigh unto you. That means come a little closer. I want to tell you something. The Bible says, knock. There's a knock that's going on. He's knocking at your heart. And if you open, it says that the Lord wants to come in and sup with you. He wants to come in and dine with you. Can you believe that? Can you imagine dining with the Lord? Favor. Can you imagine a relationship with the Lord? It all hinges on the relationship. It's who you know. So as you know, I know President Obama. President Obama knows my name. He knows who I am. And it's because of favor that I know the president. But the relationship, him knowing me, the president knowing me, and I knowing him, it really pales in comparison to my relationship with the Lord. You see, because it was my relationship with the Lord that allowed me to get to know President Obama, and for him to know who I am. Just a little young lady in Brooklyn, a small time preacher in Jamaica, Queens. Favor of the Lord. And I want you to know what it says here regarding obedience, regarding faith. If you turn to the book of Hebrews 11, verse 6, it says, by faith, but without faith, it is impossible to please him, for he is a rewarder of those that diligently seek him. And if you come to the Lord, you must believe that he exists. So if you doubt the Lord, then the chances of you pleasing him are very, very, very low. If you doubt that he even exists, because you can't see him, it doesn't mean that he doesn't exist. You can't see gravity, but gravity exists. You can't see air, but air exists. And you might not be able to feel, the air too much. You can feel a breeze. But I can feel the Lord's presence in my life. I know the Lord's presence in my life, and it's been proven. And I want you to take the Lord as your partner, as your investor, as your angel investor. He is my everything. Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Shalom, Adonai. I call him Abba. He is my daddy.